This did not turn out as I was hoping. But anyways, Buffs Nation, what's going on? I just need to shake this up a little bit. But hope you guys are having a great day. I just can't get away from y'all. Am I a fanatic? Is that what I am? I guess so. But I want to get on here and talk a little bit about bowl game possibilities, for the Buffs. It was being reported or tweeted out. Let me go ahead and pull up the tweet so I can get it right. About the Peach Bowl, one in Colorado. And really, if you're any bowl game right now, why wouldn't you want Colorado? I mean, the views have been insane. These bowl games, these TV companies, they're definitely paying or playing for clicks, and we get clicks. That is for darn sure. But yes, the college football Blue Bloods commercial is, or Blue Bloods, not commercial, account on Twitter saying this. Breaking: the Peach Bowl wants Colorado as a participant in their bowl game. According to Keyshawn Johnson, their bowl executives were in town for the USC Colorado game and met with the Colorado staff. That's awesome. The Peach Bowl is one of the most prestigious bowls in all of college football and traditionally is a matchup between two top 10 teams in Atlanta. Not always the case, though, but, can still happen. However, due to Colorado's massive viewership, the Buffs would deliver better TV ratings for the bowl than other top teams like Alabama and USC. I mean, isn't that just hilarious? That is clearly the Coach Prime effect, right? And man, I think that's a beautiful thing. And one of my other YouTube colleagues, Kuz's Corner, he got in here, on Twitter, is like, I'm going to root for them to lose. That's not right for them to skip the line. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm with you. If Colorado is 6-6 and they get put in a New Year's Six bowl game, is there something wrong with that? Objectively, yes. But I'm going to be all here for it, like, no matter what. Because, man, we haven't won a bowl game in 20 years. Y'all know this by now. And pretty much every other bowl game that we've been in has been the Alamo Bowl. Guys, I'm sick of the Alamo Bowl. What I got my eyes on, and maybe later on I can try and calculate the scenarios of what would need to happen for Colorado to make the college football playoff. Like, those odds are very slim. Not impossible. They're just very slim with losing to both USC and Oregon. Because they have the tiebreakers, So it's going to be hard to get into that conference championship. Nonetheless, the college football playoff. We need some disastrous things to happen. So get your prayers out, We need that. But let's say we're talking about a New Year's Six bowl or just a really nice bowl game. Let's say we win out. If this team is 10-2, I think we're ranked in the top 10, no doubt, by the end of the year. Warrants any sort of New Year's Six bowl, okay? And I want to say hi to Trey Ivory here in the chat. Let's go. Appreciate your support as always. I see us playing an ACC or Big Ten team in a bowl game. I'm going to give you my conspiracy, or not my conspiracy, but just my hope. But I want to say this. This might be, is this looking ahead? Absolutely. Hell yes, I'm looking ahead because this is fun. This is fun to look ahead. And I'm going to start speculating right now. I'm not on this football team staff. I'm not one of the players. Look at me. Look at where I'm at. I'm going to speculate. I'm going to look forward, and I'm going to have fun with this. So the Peach Bowl would be a great matchup, right? But this is what my hope is. Not an ACC team or a Big Ten team, but sort of. I would love to see Colorado match up in the Orange Bowl, just like 1989 and 1990, for the national championships against Notre Dame, just like we did back then. Losing the national championship to Notre Dame in 89, facing them again in the Orange Bowl, and then getting that national championship. Notre Dame, I feel like, is kind of in a similar spot we are in because they essentially have to win out the rest of their games. We'll just have to see. But I think that would be a great matchup to have. If they don't get in the college football playoff, you got Shador Sanders going after Sam Hartman. Um, I think that would be a lot of fun, right? That would be a really fun matchup. Now, I did have the list of bowl affiliations over here because I always forget them. So here are some other possibilities if the Buffs were to be bowl eligible, get to that 6-win and above threshold, which I think the majority of us think that they will get to. These are some other games that are on the radar. Obviously, not the Rose Bowl and Sugar Bowl, as those are the college football playoff semifinal games, I believe. But yeah, in terms of New Year's Six, this would be a fun game, I think. Cotton Bowl, getting into the Cotton Bowl, playing in Texas, having all those recruits right there, right? And I can't remember if this is a dead period. I always forget during the bowl season. But they could play the Cotton Bowl in Arlington. They could play in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. We've talked about that. The Orange Bowl, in Miami. That would be a lot of fun. The Fiesta Bowl, is great. Glendale, Arizona. So those are like the premier bowl games, right? But the other Pac-12 associated bowls are, as us Bus fans know from getting destroyed every time we play in the Alamo Bowl, in San Antonio. I got a lot of family in San Antonio. I love San Antonio. I'm over the Alamo Bowl. No. Of course, if we get placed in there, I'll have a good attitude about it. But please, just something different, please. All right. The Las Vegas Bowl. That is Big Ten against Pac-12. That would be fun. I mean, who doesn't want to go play in the Death Star in Las Vegas, right? I mean, that stadium is awesome, what the Raiders got going on there. I forgot to say, Alamo Bowl is Big 12 versus Pac-12, okay? Then we got the Holiday Bowl. And this is at the new, if I remember correctly, the new San Diego State stadium that was built recently. And that is Pac-12 versus ACC. So, an ACC matchup would be really interesting. Let me pull up the college football rankings right now too, to like go through this, and we'll touch on that in a bit. And then we also got the Sun Bowl in El Paso. El Paso, it's just kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, but the Sun Bowl, it's going to be nice weather. It's going to be sunny, and that would be fun to play another ACC team in there. Okay. Last two, we have the LA Bowl, which is Mountain West versus Pac-12. This is one I really want to avoid. I do not care about playing anybody in the Mountain West unless, it's something like, this is more of a joke, unless it's like Wazoo and Oregon State, if they just kind of usher them in there as like future members. But heck, there's rumors about them joining the Big 12, later on. So, we'll just have to see. And the last one in Shreveport, Louisiana, the Independence Bowl. That is the Big 12 versus the Pac-12. Now, if we're looking at top 25 opponents, let me know, guys, in the comments, what kind of opponents or who you would really love to see, the Buffs face in a bowl game. I'll kind of name off some of the opponents that I'd love to see. Of course, number one, I would love to see Notre Dame, regardless of the bowl. If it's the Orange Bowl, it's even sweeter because it plays into all the historical stuff when CU was, great. That would be number one for me. Now, if we're looking at, some different ACC schools, again, undefeated. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. Give me University of Miami Hurricanes. I would love another Florida matchup. This would be a great thing. And I love the Miami Hurricanes, in the 2000s. When I was growing up, that was the team. They were putting NFL guys, or guys in the NFL every year at like every position. My Denver Broncos had a handful of University of Miami guys. Two of my favorites being DJ Williams and Clinton Portis. Love those guys. Love those teams. Love the swagger that they play with. And that would be like a prize fight. That would be a money fight. You know what I'm saying? Miami Hurricanes going after the CU Buffs. You got The Miami colors, green and orange, going after black and gold. I just like that sort of matchup aesthetically. It's really nice. Okay. Then let me work my way down the list here a little bit. Well, I'll work my way up the list here. Something disastrous is going to happen, or it needs to happen for this to be a possibility, because I think, that they're on the road to the college football playoff right now, obviously, and that's Florida State. Man, with all the rivalry that we've had, chirping back and forth between fans, the recruiting battles that we've had, all of that, of course, with Prime, having played at Florida State, but not graduating. He's kind of playing into that too, right? But that's a matchup, everybody would be paying to see, right? We don't have any SEC specific bowl games with those non-New Year's Six ones, but if we were to face an SEC opponent, that could be a lot of fun. I would like to see University of Tennessee. That's another team that I'd really love to see us play, especially with having some recruits that we're fighting over for. Let's just go head to head, settle it out on the field, right? That would be a beautiful thing. Now, again, they probably, depending on how this matchup goes this weekend, with the Red River rivalry, something bad would have to happen. But OU would be another really cool matchup for a New Year's Six bowl if these teams finish in the top 10. Old Big 8 rivalry, Big 12 rivalry. This would be awesome to see. And, you have Brent Venables having made those comments about Coach Prime for some odd reason, just out of nowhere, made no sense. Let's get these coaches on the same field and let the teams fight it out, right? And lastly, I'll end with this one here in the top 25, and then I'll give you a bonus one. Top 25. We will go with, I just lost it. A matchup of another, big time college football coach, a little outspoken, in his own style. And that is Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss, high-powered offense, Jackson Dart going after Shedeur Sanders in the high-powered CU Buffs offense. Wouldn't that be fun to watch? I think it would be. So those are a handful of opponents, and then lastly, a bonus one for you with a team that is not ranked right now, and this is purely out of just hate and distaste for the program. Really, the only program that I really just hate in college football. I mean, I don't hate Nebraska. I don't hate their fans like that. Of course, I hate Nebraska, but y'all understand what I'm saying. It's personal. It's personal with me in Texas A&M. It's personal with me in Aggie land. Man, let's play the Aggies. We're going up against, we are the most like star power. Man, this is going to sound really lame, but like, swaggy. Swaggy's not a word. Swagger filled, y'all can say it better than I can. We got a lot of attitude. We got a lot of style. And then, you contrast that with like the cringiest like fan base and college culture and college sports, and that's Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher going up against Coach Prime. I think it would be hilarious. So all that to say, I'm going to get to your comments here and see what y'all have to say. Appreciate the love, Sir Ken. Yeah, smash that like as you guys are coming in here. Really appreciate that. Buffs Overload. Y'all go subscribe to Buffs Overload. I'm going to get him on my show next week. Man, really came out with a really cool video today, or it might have been yesterday. He talks a lot about like the cultural impact, of Coach Prime. So it's really good stuff. Go subscribe to him. He says to get to the Orange Bowl, we would have to run the table. Would be amazing. Yes, and hopefully this team can do it. If we don't do it, it's I think it's because we're just beating ourselves. We're playing like how we've been playing, where we'll play 2 really good quarters and 2 really bad quarters. We got to have 4 good quarters, starting with ASU, then taking care of business the rest of the season. But I think, man, if we can get to 9, 10 games, New Year's Six Bowl is definitely on the table. No doubt. No doubt. Zion coming in here saying any game in the South would be amazing. Yes, 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 yes. Just not let it be the Alamo Bowl. I'm done with it. But now that I think about it, I will be in San Antonio for the holidays. So I'm going to start rooting for the Alamo Bowl. Why did that just click with me? I'm going to start rooting for the Alamo Bowl for that reason. Ooh, having your heart set on the Holiday Bowl, that would be great. There's just a lot of good matchups. And again, it feels great to at least right now, be in this conversation. Of course, bowls want us. We got, tens of millions more views than everybody else right now. It's crazy. Many bowl games would love to have the hype of Coach Prime Marcus Davidson. You said it correctly. And, I got to say, man, sometimes I see a lot of the hate, or just, not wanting Prime to succeed or Colorado to succeed. I think it's coming from a lot of fan bases where they're super dedicated, but they just haven't had like a ton of success. They've kind of had average success over the last, 20, 30 years. And it's like, I can empathize, man, with that frustration. Like, y'all are devoted, you got good fan support, all this stuff, and then you just see, Colorado just flipping on like a dime, man. But hey, credit to us, and credit for Coach Prime. He could not say no to the tranquility of his, mountainous ranch out here, and Rick George giving him the keys to the whole program, just saying, do what you want, man. It's an amazing thing what happens when you check your ego, right? Dub Will coming in here saying, David, I'm a Dave 1. You have taken your game to another level. Love your energy these days. Keep up the great work. Woo, man, I appreciate that, Dub Will. Man, it's been really funny, man, just to see how this whole thing has grown, man. To be honest, and I still pinch myself, man, like every day with how this is going. But this is so much fun, man. We're just getting started, and man, I'm trying to make this like a legit second career type of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, like I love what I do in my life outside of this, but man, the only way I can buy a house out here is if I have multiple streams of income, right? So I got to keep the hustling going, right? So I really appreciate your support, and glad you see that I've made improvements, and I'm going to continue to work on that. Eventually, I'll change the background. Just not concerned about it. Tremaine Young in the house. Appreciate you as always, man. Buffs Overload. The LA Bowl, the Independence Bowl means we finish 6-6. Each win beyond 6 gets us closer to actual bowl season. Thank you for this. Yes, these are bowls that I want to avoid. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Trey Ivory. Like-minded. CU versus Miami. Who wouldn't want to watch that game? Yeah, depending on like who loses out in the Big 12 championship and stuff like that and doesn't get to the college football playoff, either Texas, Oklahoma would be great. Florida State. Obviously, if Florida State doesn't make the college football playoff, I mean, to me, that has to be the number one matchup for a bowl game. Like, that has to be it, right? I can't imagine what those tickets are going to cost. But yeah, so if you guys want to see that matchup, I guess we got to be rooting for Florida State to drop a game or two and to not win the conference, for the Miami Hurricanes to win out. But man, Florida State's looked really good. And yeah, they've been in some tough games on the road. Hey man, if you're able to get those dubs on the road, it does not matter. Does not matter, how it was done, in my opinion. Are they vulnerable? Sure. Every team this year is vulnerable. But they have a very good team this year, a lot of veteran players. And I think that they will make a nice run here in the college football playoff. Tremaine Young, Baylor, this is an interesting one. I think they, we'll see how they do in conference play, but I think they've gotten off to a pretty slow start. So I don't know if that's really a possibility for them. But you're talking about offenses. That'd be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, everyone's saying Florida State, Duke. Duke would be a fun game. And man, it was really unfortunate to see their quarterback. I forget his real name, but they call him, White Michael Vick because he's just running around all the time. I guess. It was a bummer to see him hurt his ankle. So I hope he's okay. Clemson. This would be an interesting one, Tremaine, because we have us who's, we're not into NIL, but we help people get NIL. And then, as Dabo is making his program made in the name, image, and likeness of God. Not doing a great job of it right now. Can you attribute that to them losing coordinators? Sure. But, man, not looking good for Clemson right now. But that would be a fun matchup. I think there's a lot of possibilities I'd be really happy with. So that's always great. I think a lot of teams will want to play us. I think Clemson would love the opportunity to play us in a bowl game. Buffs overload regarding I'm guessing the Alamo Bowl. Yeah, we've seen that fight before, man. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. We will get free shoes next weekend, next season. Oh man, that's funny, man. That's funny. Well, I can't wait till the college football playoff season next year because, yeah, I'm expecting us to be in there. That should be the rightful expectation that we are playing in the college football playoff, and I just cannot wait. I cannot wait. Hopefully, we get there. We take care of business. We get another stellar recruiting class. What team will see you play in the Peach Bowl days to come? Well, it can just honestly be any top team. Usually it is between two top 10 teams. There have been exceptions, though, if you look back historically, with the bowl game matchup. So really, I think, that since it's a New Year's Six Bowl, they just get the best team. So it's not aligned to any specific conference. So it's really just about making the best matchup. So yeah, Notre Dame, Florida State, that would be some really fun matchups that we could have. And you're right, Buffs overload. If we take care of business these next 2 weeks against ASU and Stanford, man, we're in a great spot. We have 5 wins. Arizona we should beat here at home, and then we got some toughies, but fully capable of winning. UCLA on the road, Oregon State here at home, Wazoo on the road, Utah on the road. These are going to be no cakewalks. But if this team can play to what their potential is, when they're hitting their peak, we should win. We should win. Las Vegas Bowl. See, Lawrence Collins, if that happening, man, we're going to Circa, man. We're gambling. We're hitting up the sports books, man. We're having a great time, man. We're having a David Talks Buffs party in Las Vegas. I mean, wouldn't that be fun? Let me see here. Let me see when that is. The Las Vegas Bowl. December 23rd. Shit. Well, excuse my language. Flying out to North Carolina for a few days for Christmas, but I could probably make an exception. I haven't bought those tickets yet, and I do have some United Flyer miles to cash in, baby. So getting out to Las Vegas for that game would be a heck of a lot of fun. If y'all haven't been to Las Vegas, man, it's always a lot of fun. LBMS67. Let's get through the season, please. You know what? That's the team's job to do. This is not my job. But I understand what you're saying, man. Is looking ahead on the schedule everybody's cup of tea? No, but it's my thing, man. It's my thing. This ADHD brain of mine is always thinking about things all over the place. Buffs overload, man. You're cracking me up. Saying, Dave, you're definitely moving up my rankings. Buffs overload has a rankings for like top 10 Buffs creators. Really great. Go check that out. Man, I gotta tell you, man, I laughed my ass off when I was not expecting to see myself in there, and then you put me at number 9, and man, that just meant the world to me. Thanks so much, and man, I was just laughing, man, because I love how you were like, initially he wasn't on my list, but after some thought, I decided to put him in there, man. He's hustling. So I appreciate the recognition for the grind I've been going on. It really means a lot. And just to be mentioned with all those other accounts, it means a lot. And I think it's awesome. It's awesome because all those accounts, in my opinion, they do a way better job than me. I'm just here in my bedroom, but I'm just a little silly. I guess that's just what it is sometimes, right? We got this whole family in here. We have the honorary Reverend BJ Nelson in here, the honorary Reverend of the David Talks Buffs channel. Please be praying for the Buffs this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, "What's up, family? Hopefully everyone's having a good Thursday." We're having a great Thursday. Not only are we excited to be seeing Buffs football here in like 48 hours or so, I mean, we're already looking ahead to bowl season, baby. Man, I love it. But man, Las Vegas, what is more money than Las Vegas going up against, the Miami Hurricanes, the Florida State Seminoles? It's going to be a big money fight in the city of fights. Andrew coming in here saying something better than Pop-Tart Bowl, although it's in Orlando. See, we are eligible for the Pop-Tart Bowl next year, being in the Big 12. And I've made some jokes earlier this year. I don't care what bowl game we play in. It could be the Pop-Tart Bowl, but I know that's not realistic. It could be the SpongeBob SquarePants Bowl, which I don't think exists, but Nickelodeon might do something like they did with the NFL, with the Toy Story. Wouldn't that be really cool? But we do, I guess I wasn't Nickelodeon. Disney? I always forget who makes all these movies. Anyways, yeah, imagine like a Nickelodeon SpongeBob animation, broadcast for the kids to watch it. Won't that be fun? Mr. Crab, everybody's eating Krabby Patties in the stadium. Sandy Cheeks is there doing the opening kickoff and, the coin flip and the national anthem and all that. I'm available for contract, Nickelodeon. Sco Buffs. Absolutely right. Yes. We're having a party in Las Vegas, baby. That's what needs to happen, man. Wouldn't that be so fun? Wouldn't it be to go to the craps table, and play with the YouTube money and stuff? Hopefully I could double it, and Las Vegas, man, it's just a lot of fun. Both times I've stayed downtown. Just because the table games are cheaper and stuff when I go for NBA Summer League. But this next time, man, totally staying in Circa. Obviously the DNVR guys got me on a Circa, and when I was there this summer for Summer League, their sports book is awesome. It was a great place to hang out, play the table games, meet really cool people. And what's really cool about Circa downtown is that they ID you at the front. So then when you're getting your drinks and everything, like, you never have to be ID'd again. It's wonderful. And then their pool deck. Their pool deck. It's awesome. 94's finest. Do your thing, Dave. Get to the bag, bro. Absolutely. That's what I'm trying to do here. But, having fun doing it. Isn't it so fun to have fun doing something that you love and make money doing it? Obviously not anywhere close to a full-time income right now for me, but we're growing. And the primary thing about this channel is that it's got to be fun first before money, before professionalism, anything like that. If I'm not having fun, then I'm not going to keep doing it. That's when I would tune out from things. But man, this is a lot of fun. Sir Ken, I just want to see CU 5-2 going into the bye and get healthy. I also see some different looks on the offensive line on the offensive side of the ball after the bye. Yes, please. we could be unleashing some of those 2 tight end sets later as we get throughout the season with Javon Antonio. I mean, with what Coach Brew has done with Michael Harrison, he can do the same thing for Javon, man. If he comes in there with that mentality to really take on the coaching, take the coaching to heart. What else was I going to say? And heck, let's keep putting the pressure on. Like, go sign that petition I put on Twitter. Go tweet about Attack the NCAA. Let's spam them, man. Let's spam them. Let's get Tyler Brown, man, reinstated so he can have this year to play, man. We got to keep the pressure on. Do I think it's a coincidence that the University of North Carolina made a fool out of the NCAA and then they backtrack on their decision? No. We got to continue to keep the pressure on, baby. Aurelius, I see Oregon and USC losing 2 games, man. I would say USC is definitely more vulnerable right now than Oregon. I think Oregon just has a complete team. They play with that tenacity. They play aggressive football. Like, Dan Lanning coaches that team how I love, man. They are all, foot on the gas the entire time. And that's how Coach Prime, coaches too. So they have the better team. They whooped our butt. And, they are a force to be reckoned with. They got a great team this year. And we'll see if Utah can kind of weather the storm. They were my pick, even with the Cam Rising injury, to win the conference again this year. I don't know if that's going to happen. It might just be, a matchup between Washington and Oregon, or, Oregon and USC. Excuse me. But I think right now, Oregon is my favorite to come out of the Pac-12 as champion and on to the college football playoff. Coach Prime against Florida State would be crazy. Could you imagine the recruits? Can you imagine the trash talk leading up? Oh my gosh. That week would just be absolutely insane. People would be talking more about that bowl game than the college football playoff, which is just crazy. And then you would probably see that bowl game do higher numbers than any game in the college football playoff. And I think, man, if we can win out, get to that 10-2 record, have the possibility of something like that happen, that game is going to feel like a national championship. It's going to. It's going to be a huge deal. So, and that's what I love about college football, man. There's just so much potential, man, with a lot of these different matchups. Even if we don't make a lot's going to need to go wrong for everybody else for us to make the college football playoff. But we're not out yet. We're not out till we're out. Yeah, Paris, let me get a drink here. They're going to want to have their pick of the litter for bowls. Them sponsors going to be fighting to get Colorado. Absolutely. Forget if the Chick-fil-A bowl, is that the Sugar Bowl? Yeah, I guess that's I always forget the co-sponsors, all that. But Chick-fil-A should definitely want Coach Prime, right? I think we're going to get a fantastic matchup. And, it's going to be a lot of fun to look forward to. Yeah, all the bowls want us. Aurelius coming in here with an underrated matchup right here. If Michigan folds, playing Michigan, we've played them, I think, maybe 2, 3, 4 times. I think we're 1-3 against them all time. Against the one that we won, was the Hail Mary to Michael Westbrook. I believe it was Michael Westbrook from Cordell Stewart. Y'all go watch that game on YouTube, man. Awesome game. Anyway, seeing Michigan, and Lawrence Collins would be a fan of that, being out in Michigan, being a Michigan fan. But, man, here's the thing, Lawrence Collins. Who are you putting money on for that game? When you got your 2 teams going at it, who are you putting your money on? I agree, Salty, that, Javon Antonio getting some looks here at tight end. We need that. I wonder if Passarello and some of those guys, Fourier are healthy. I'm not really sure. But, we've kind of taken a different approach with our offense. This kind of reminds me right now, again, you can look back at one of my previous film reviews but of more so, more similarly to the 2021 Kent State offense, because they ran a lot of different packages, kind of more jumbo heavy, two tight end sets in 2022. They didn't really do that as much in 2021. And that's what I really like about Sean Lewis. Like, he's not just a, plug a, square peg in a round hole type of guy. With his system, he truly does try and find the strengths of his offense and tailor his play calls to that. And I think we'll continue to see his game plans improve and get better as the season goes on, as he continues to get comfortable with all this personnel. Really quick. Oh, yeah. Charles coming in here. Las Vegas Bowl, that's right. It's Pac-12 versus Big Ten. So it could be Michigan. That's right. But Florida State would be out of the question. Miami would be out of the question, which blows. But they need to make an exception, right? I mean, Florida State's trying to get to the Big Ten. Like, does that count? Oh man, having them play in the Sugar Bowl would be awesome. Seeing Coach Prime in Louisiana at the Sugar Bowl or at the Superdome would be awesome. Totally agree with you. This year, though, we would have to make the playoff for that to happen. Man, I appreciate that, Buffs Overload. Lawrence Collins says, I'm with the Las Vegas Bowl because I'll be there for the holidays. Beautiful. What a fun place to spend the holidays. Las Vegas, Nevada. Ooh, book my room at Excalibur, 54 a night. That's very nice. Ray coming in here. Is ESPN going to show Colorado and ASU, or is it just going to be on the Pac-12 channel? Yes, we legally have to play, I think, at least one game on the Pac-12 network every year. So this week has been relegated for that. So you can sign up for free trials on Fubo or Sling TV to watch it this week. Or, there are probably some other sites that you could find it on. But I'm not going to make myself liable for that. All right. He would put his money on the Buffs. That's right. What's his name? JJ McCarthy or whatever. He's no Shador, man. Yeah. So that's right, man. I'll be putting my money on the Buffs too. I'm putting my money on the Buffs minus 4.5. And man, to get that fourth win, man, I hit all those. I hit my two bets, on them getting over 3.5 wins. So I think my total cash out is like 315 from my Nuggets winning the championship and Buffs 4 games and over. That's 315, and then I have another 215 that will come from just a straight bet of them hitting this fourth win. So going to be feeling great about that. Nice little stimulus check. God's Spirit's real. Love the name. Love the comment too. You're doing a great. You are going to do great, Dave, because you're doing what you love. If you have God in your life, you are going to succeed beyond measure. Greatly appreciate the kind words. Totally agree with y'all. And that means a lot. I just have a lot of fun doing this. I'm going to wrap this up here in just a couple minutes, but Marcus Davidson coming in here. Yeah, Big Dog. We weren't able to connect yesterday for Big Dog and Dave. And he had this interview come up with, Alejandro Mata's parents. So be sure to go check that out. I think we will be streaming for the game together for like a watch along. Or if he's going to the game. I gotta remember what he told me and see what we're doing. But I'll be linking up with Big Dog again soon. So lastly, we'll go to this last comment here, Sir Ken. With the conference champ being in the playoffs and the second place team going to be the normal champ bowl, if CU comes in third, that would put them in place for a great bowl choice. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Yeah, if we can win out, the possibilities are pretty much endless. If we drop one, still the possibilities are still pretty much endless. I think, a 9-win team that's going to get us in the top 25, no doubt, because then we're winning our last, where are we at right now? 6 out of 7 games. Whew, you know, we're winning 7 in a row. Beautiful thing. And like we've talked about, every team is going to want to face us. This team isn't going 6-6. No way. We're way better than that. But the team has to take it one game at a time. We're on a 2-game losing streak right now. We have to go out, kick some butt. We got to play with some anger. We gotta show that, man. Like, that loss last week was a fluke. That performance against Oregon, with us just coming out half asleep, getting our butts thrown around, getting our butts slapped. It was a fluke, man. We're a better team than that. I think we are. So, anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. I'm gonna bring my friend Corey back on tonight. My betting friend Corey, big Notre Dame fan. We're gonna talk through some bets tonight. I think around at 8:30. Again, this is a way more kind of casual type show, and I mean, my show is obviously super casual as is, but this is a super casual one. So if y'all want to tune in, share your bets with us, share what you lost money on last week, like me, we can do that too. So always appreciates y'all. Be sure to hit the like on the way out. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you hit that subscribe. Let me know where you're watching from. Check out Yo Martez's store. We got some hats coming here soon. Links in the description. So appreciate you guys as always. I'll see you guys later, and Sco Buffs.